Yesterday, we had Joe Marino on. He did a podcast recently trying to figure out the pecking order in terms of targets. There's snaps, there's receptions, there's, a lot of other ways that you could kind of break that, just the depth chart straight on. But there is no depth chart this time of year. So, Sal, I'm going to have you do the exact same exercise that Joe did on his show. But I'm going to give you 500 pass attempts to work with from Josh Allen. So that's a slight bump. It's 13 more than he had last year. So it's largely the same. It's just it's a nice round number of 500. If I told you today that there will be 500 targets to go around in the Bills offense, you can do it however you want here. You could start by giving a guy's few numbers. I could tell you where you're at, and you could go back if you want. How would you start to figure it out or guess at it?
No one told me there would be math on a Friday morning Jeremy and Joe show that I would have to be a part of here. I just want you to know that.
Well, no math before 7 a.m. is our rule. It is 8:37.
Oh, is that what it is?
We have a no math before 7 rule. No math expectation before 7 at least.
All right, let me pull up last year's so I can kind of get some comparisons here.
Okay.
Because I think that's important to kind of see how things shook out a little bit. I think I'm safe. So I have to give you like a player and the number here.
Give me a player and the number, and at the end of it, I could tally it up, and we can edit things if we need to. Yeah.
Okay, I think Khalil Shakir at 100 sounds good to me.
Okay.
That was last year's target number. I don't think there's anything unreasonable about that.
Totally fair.
I think, Dalton Kincaid 75 last year. He only played 13 games. I'm going to go to 85 for Dalton Kincaid.
85. So that would be
Yep.
That would be an increase on his total for sure.
Sure. Yep.
Maybe not per game. No, it'd be about the same per game. You really what you want from Kincaid, as much as the volume maybe to go up a little bit, is you want the efficiency to go up, right? Like his catch percentage was very low last year for a tight end.
I'm going to go with Keon's going to have a uptick. I'm going to say 70 for Keon Coleman.
Okay. I would take that. I'm good with that.
Okay, so I'm eliminating the 50 for Matt Collins. I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to eliminate the 32. That's 82 I have to kind of disperse on top of the guys I already have here. I think James Cook.
Who was the 32? Cooper?
Yep,
Cooper.
Exactly. Sorry. I think where James Cook falls about right. Let me look. What was James Cook the last 2 years? Is about exactly the same, wasn't he?
I think so.
Oh, no. 54. No. 54 and 38. So let's middle that a little bit. Let's go to 40 for James Cook.
Okay. 40 for James
Although, you know
Cook.
what? I mean, Ty Johnson has been a really nice third out.
Yep, and they re-signed him, and Josh Allen has called Ty Johnson. Did he say outright? Is he one of the best, or did he call him the best third down back in the league? Like, it made him one of them, but
I think what I want to do here, actually, is go between Cook and Johnson. Last year, they had a total of 38, 48, 58, 63. So that sounds about okay. I'm going to go 60 between the two then. So instead of James Cook at 40, I'll go, let's say 30 and 30.
30 and 30 for Cook and Johnson?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hold on, I'm looking. So I'm at 315. Is that right?
315, yeah. I wasn't going to give you the number because I was going to give you the opportunity to go back and take away any if you were on. If you went over.
Okay. Well, I still want to do that after you tell me and show me.
Yeah, that's fine. But you could do it
I'm not
way,
even listing the players here. I'm just going through the numbers when I give them to you. So
gotcha.
Let me see if I can
Gotcha.
how I can do this here. Okay. Okay, so now I have, where am I going here? I think Curtis Samuel, Elijah Moore. Curtis Samuel's going to have more. He's going to play more. He's going to be involved more. I'm going to go with 60 for Curtis Samuel.
Ooh. Okay. That would be you have last year open, right? Would that be double what he had last year? No, because
he had
that would be double.
46.
46, that's right.
That wouldn't be a ton more, actually.
Right. I was thinking of
the
reception number. So 60. Okay.
And I think Elijah Moore has to factor in here around the same, maybe. Who am I? Just want to see who I'm leaving out here. Dawson Knox.
We got to get to Knox. We got to get to Josh Palmer at some point here.
Josh Palmer. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Let's go 60 for Josh Palmer.
Okay. Would that be disappointing for Josh Palmer because of the contract, or do you think that would be fine?
No, I think that'd be okay. They'd be fine. But I could adjust here. Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got.
You can. That's right. You can adjust. This is like a good foundation.
I'm going to say 50 for Elijah Moore.
Okay. That's very well balanced between those three that you just put. Samuel, Palmer, and Moore, all pretty close together.
I only have 15 more to go around.
That's right. And,
That's not good because I still have Dawson Knox.
Uh-huh.
I still have Ray Davis.
Uh-huh.
And then I still have insert name here who's going to be on the field like a Jackson Hawes or a Zach Davidson or whatever.
I would say the best way to do it, let's complete that list, and then we can go back and take away if we need to.
Okay. Let me just throw the remaining 15 on Dawson Knox because I know I'm going to have to do this differently, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's do it that way. Who am I taking away from here? So I got to go find where I'm going to take away from some guys. I got to 500 now, correct?
You're at 500. Yep, on the dot.
Who do I have left out?
A lot of the, I don't want to call them the miscellaneous guys, but Ray Davis and Jackson Hawes and Tyrell Shavers maybe plays a couple games this year.
Okay, so I'll say this. What I want to do is, I think the way I want to do this is, I don't think Ray Davis will get 19.
Yeah.
So let's go to...
You could also you want me to put other? With the rest of them combined, total at
Sure. I think anybody under 20 should be other, right?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Would that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so get me to... So other gets me from 500... Let's go backward. 500 down to 480 if I go to other.
Okay.
Right? So now I have to take away from people.
Yes.
Because I also want to add to Dawson Knox. I don't think he's only going to have 15.
Yeah, how many... forget how many you've done for all the other people. Dawson Knox, you think, has how many targets this year? Just isolated from the rest of this. What would you say?
30.
30. Okay. So...
He had 30. By the way, that would be a career low, just so everybody knows.
30 would be?
If people go, oh my God, 30, that's too many. That'd be a career low. He had 33 last year, 36 the year before.
Right.
So I'd say 36 to 33 to 30. I don't think it's a terrible projection. I could even go to 25, but I'm going to say 30.
Okay.
For right now.
So, what Sal has right now, 100 for Shakir, 85 for Kincaid, 70 for Coleman, 30 for Cook, 30 for Ty Johnson, 60 for Samuel and Palmer each, 50 for Moore, 30 for Knox. And then other we put at, what do we put other at? 30? 25? Put 25 there.
Yeah, I like round numbers here, by the way, as you can tell. I'm going 5s and 0s just because they make a lot of sense total.
Right. So, I don't have you at 500. I have you at 490. Am I missing somebody?
I don't know.
Kincaid,
What do you have
Coleman,
now?
Cooks, Johnson, Samuel, Palmer, Moore, and Knox.
Maybe
I still think
the math was wrong.
I think you've got 10 to give still.
I do.
Yeah, you have 10 to give out.
Okay.
So you can add to anybody if you would like, actually.
Who do I have? I have 100 for Shakir.
Yep.
I have 85 for
Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
I have 70 for Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do I have?
30 for Cook and Johnson each.
Hold on, Cook. Ty, yep.
60 for Palmer and Samuel each.
Okay.
50 for Moore. And then 30 for Dawson Knox.
Man, I like the way this is, though. I have 10 more I can give.
Yeah.
All right, so I will give 10 more. So I go 10. Let's go 5 more to Palmer. Get him to 65.
Okay. That feels right. I mean, he, contract-wise, coming just a little bit over Samuel and Moore, I feel like feels appropriate.
And then I'm going to go, in fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip. I'm going to say Elijah Moore goes to 60 and Samuel goes to 55.
Ooh. Okay, so you're going more with more targets than Samuel. Just barely.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because here's why. Because I think when I think about it, Samuel might get the ball in other ways where it's not a target more.
Sure, he might get a few carries.
Correct.
If the difference is 5, 5 carries on the season for Samuel sounds very realistic. So, all right,
There's my 500 right now.
I think that looks pretty close to what could. I think if I were doing it myself, I would have the only guy that looks a little low to me might be Palmer, but this is why the exercise is good and why I think you did a good job at it. I can sit here and say I think Palmer should be higher, but I don't know who I would take away from because everybody else kind of looks right. So maybe 65 is good. You know, I mean, if you're an efficient player on 65 targets and Josh Palmer catches, 45 to 50 passes on the year, again, is that a letdown? Maybe it's not the ceiling you were hoping for, but I don't think anybody's mad at that. So that can work. All right, 100 for Shakir, 85 for Kincaid, 70 for Coleman, 65 for Palmer, 55 for Samuel, 60 for Moore, 30 for Knox, Johnson, and Cook. I think this looks pretty good. All right.
What I'm curious about, and I want to look this up real quick. Maybe I could do this in the break. Is how many teams have, what's the top three? How they disperse it amongst some of the teams in the league. Because right now I have 3 guys at 70 plus. Right? Is that normal? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think this is a very everybody eats-esque list. This is. I bet there aren't many teams that would be this good at spreading it around. Especially, there's some that come to mind immediately, like Cincinnati, is not this. Right? They have, what percentage of their targets goes to 2 guys? It's a huge number.
Yeah, but Mike Gesicki was third with 83 last year for them.
Well, that's not bad. That's higher than
Chase
I thought.
Brown had 65 on top of that.
Well, right.
Let's look at the Dolphins real quick.
They throw the ball.
Tyreek 123, Jonnu Smith 111, Devon Achane 87, Jalen Waddle 83. They have 4 guys over 80.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, that's the pass attempts too.
Yeah,
right. That's
right. But you have a huge drop after that. There's nobody above 47 after that for them.
Yeah.